This is the last video I have for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Unfortunately, the recording I had, like, there's no audio for it. So there's nothing I can do about it. So what I can do is just go over what happened in the very last part of the game that I played. It was pretty short. I mean, not long. It was a pretty long ending that I went through. I had to like get everybody's like bikini outfits for fun, and then even after that, it was a hassle just to grind up the levels. But eventually, you just start finding out like you're trying to get to Bryce's island, and you're trying to find a way to sneak in, and it becomes this whole thing where you're just trying to like you're trying to find a way, but it's really hard to find a way apparently in the game. You have to sneak back into the Barracuda's like you have to sneak back into the Barracuda's stronghold. You have to fight Dwight again, which is just Danny Trejo. That nothing comes of that. You go back to Yamai and you go on a ship, and on the ship you get attacked by Danny Trejo, and then also on the ship you get to face a giant shark. Well, you don't fight the giant shark, you just fight Danny Trejo's character Dwight, and the shark just happens to be there to just attack you a couple times and attack your teammates and enemies there. Eventually, I think the shark eats Danny Trejo's character. Then you go back to Japan with Yamai. He says he's going to turn himself in, but he actually doesn't. He wants to go see the lady he supposedly threw his life away for, which was the old matriarch of the old boss he used to work for. I forgot what it was. But turns out he didn't kill anybody. It turns out he was framed by her and her newfound lover, which was the old which was one of the captains for the old family he used to work for, and they framed him after they had him kill the boss. Or maybe I don't even remember. Did he? I don't even think he actually did it. It's like this whole thing. But he goes back to see her again, and he's like, "Oh, look at you," and he's like, "I don't know what to do with my anger anymore," and he just leaves, which was pretty cool for him. But after that, we don't see him again for some reason. I think he actually turns himself in, which kind of sucks. And then Kasuga's Ichiban's half brother finds out that Shawashiro is a rat. We're trying to screw him over, and he's actually trying to make the Great Dissolution happen again, the second Great Dissolution. And he has a hatred for Yakuzas, and that's basically what happens. You regroup with Kiryu in the homeless castle. You talk with your friends, you talk with your buddies, you talk with Kiryu again, and you decide that Ichiban's gonna go after Bryce, and then Kiryu's gonna go after Ichiban's half brother. And that's basically what happens. Ichiban has a conversation with Psycho again. I don't really, again, I'm not a giant fan of the Psycho and Ichiban relationship, but we'll see what happens. Kiryu puts on his iconic suit one more time, which is pretty cool with his gray hairs. And then off you go. You fight a giant shark again for like, this time you actually fight the giant shark. And you go to the island and you fight a bunch of zealots, and you almost get set on fire in a cabin by like crazy village people that have been, what's the word? Brainwashed, I guess you could say. You find the kid, you find the son of the dead of that one guy that got shot in the safe house, and you fight a giant squid, which I already thought was crazy. And then you fight Bryce. You fight him you find out that the containment unit that he supposedly said was state of the art was false. He was actually just storing it all in a giant like volcano, all stacked up, like all messily stacked up, and it's like super environmentally like dangerous. And you fight him, and he had actually pretty cool boss music, to be honest, like the best boss music to me, at least compared to the other Kiryu fight that Kiryu had, or Kiryu's last boss fight. Anyway, you fight him, you beat him, and it's pretty cool. He comes at you with like machine guns and shit. He tries to jump off and take himself, like kill himself, but Ichiban says like, "I'm not having none of that." He's like, no one's gonna die this time. You're gonna face the consequences of your actions. And that's what happens. And then we go to Kiryu's story, or Kiryu's version of events, which is just basically him fighting his way through the Millennium Tower for like the 30th time, I feel. You fight through a bunch of people, a bunch of enemies. You get attacked, I think, by a helicopter at one point too, with a minigun on it, which is pretty cool. Happens all the time to him. Then he gets into another fight where his boys show up one more time. Daigo, Sajima, and Majima show up to help him out and back him up. It's pretty badass. The most fun I've had in a while for this game, honestly. I thought it was pretty badass. But anyway, you get to the top of the tower and you find Ichiban's... I don't want to even remember his name, to be honest, because it wasn't that important to me. but his half brother is so mad. He fights him. He tells his story of his anger and shit, and then you fight him, and he takes off his shirt, and I think he has, I don't know if he had a tattoo or not. Yeah, he had a tattoo, and you fight him, and you know, it was cool. And then Kiryu cries again for like the 5th time, I think. I don't know how many times Kiryu's cried, but he's cried a couple times. And this is one of those ones where you're like, oh man, I don't like seeing him cry. Anyway, after that, Ichiban reunites with the guy who was faking his illness, or was it? He was faking the wheelchair disability, and he helps him like turn himself in. He goes through like this whole like, there was like music involved too, but unfortunately, I mean, I'm not gonna have it anymore. But you know, it was this whole thing. It was kind of cool, and then he falls down, and then credits roll, and then at the end, I think Ichiban has another conversation with Psycho, and he's like, I know what to do now, and then she likes it, but then he pulls out his "I Love Psycho" shirt, which it made me laugh. I thought it was funny, and then she just disappears in like the next frame, which is funny to me. And then the ending for Kiryu is that he's accepted his name again, because on the hospital bed where Haruka was gonna see him one last time, it says his name right there, which is Kiryu Kazuma. And then I guess Kiryu's getting treatment for cancer now, and that's how the game ends. I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it. I liked the game. There's some things I didn't like the whole mother storyline for Ichiban. But I mean, other than that, I thought the game was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Hopefully, I play the next. I want to say the next Yakuza game, whatever it is, or whatever they're gonna call it, Like a Dragon. Who knows what the next sequel to this story for Kiryu is gonna be? But I mean, in the meantime, there's the pirate Yakuza game, and then there's also the next game they're making, which is gonna be set in the past. So who knows what that's gonna be like? Can't wait. I'm gonna bounce. Who knows what I'll probably put some music here and there, but we'll see how it goes. All right, it's a fun game, great game. You have a good one.